Great, so now welcome. This is one of the, we have two tactics to watch out for in what's called the pattern of play. The pattern of play is 5 to 8 shots. People think that's where all the points are played, but no. 25% of points, 20% of points are won between 5 to 8 shots. And before the 5 to 8 shots, you obviously have to get through the first strike, 1 to 4 shots. That's where we devote much of our effort. That's where you'll be watching Wimbledon and the Grand Slams. So now we're in the 5 to 8 pattern of play. Both people are at the baseline. And now we need to disrupt the baseline, but disrupt it with a plan that is risk mitigated. So what we do, both from the deuce side and the ad we'll get to, is to open up the court. So the aim is to drag your opponent wide or push them deep. Either way, that court is now opened up and is looking very different from them to you. They are on the defensive, and when they're pushed back deep, because we're ingrained really to hit the ball the same length, they will be hitting the ball short because they've gone back 5 meters or even more, and they've not practiced the mental requirement to hit the ball deeper when they're pushed back. So as soon as they push back on what's called the rising forehand, expect a shorter shot. Or instead of nailing it deep, top spin wide, first bounce here, get them running wide, a lot of court to cover, forcing them to do a short shot, and again running around with your fear hand, knocking it into the backhand cage. See that all the time. What you can't be doing, should not be doing, is going what's called cross court down the line. Cross court down the line without setting up an open court. Bit of a mug's game to change direction, to hit it over the highest part of the net, to hit it close to the line and with the right pace. So now you're forced, or mentally you think I've got to go for a winner, and now the errors start tumbling. Open up the court first, hurt, dictate play. And then from the ad side, you'll see this a lot, is that the players are now trading backhands to backhands. They know the score, that as soon as they hit it down the forehand and it doesn't hurt or a winner, they're now on the back foot.
I've paused it there.
Yeah. It's a shame, nearly done.
As I found out when I was playing this guy, I hit one of my shots, and rather than get it to there, it was probably there. And he's got a reasonable backhand, and he hit a couple of ones down the line as winners. So it sort of makes it, yeah, you need. That's why that one's so important.
It is. It is. And even if they can hit it down the line with a backhand, normally if you float it with slice or topspin, there's not much pace on it. That's a very different shot to hit down the line.
Oh, I thought I paused it. I hadn't bloody paused it.
Okay. So now we have these people doing backhand to backhand, trading off. They know that unless you do it on the right thing, to try and change the angle and hit a winner or a hurting shot down the forehand without having it set up is a mug's game. It's a schoolboy error. Straight into their forehand, cross court. You've now turned what you thought was an attack into a scrambling defence. So they will be giving different paces, different spins, slice, top spin, different depths to get them to force. Right, now here's the same scenario from the ad court to ad court, backhand to backhand, and we're assuming both people are right-handed. So you see them trading blows, backhand to backhand, cat and mouse, jockeying, trying to force one particular situation, because they know that if they haven't set it up and they attack the forehand and it doesn't hurt or win, they've now turned attack into a scrambling defence because they hit with the forehand cross court. So now what you see them doing is backhand to backhand, slice, topspin, deep, angled, different paces. All the time you're just trying to get them to force a ball here. Because there's a big difference between the ball bouncing here and the ball bouncing here, and what they're trying to do, just like the jackal feeding on the carcass of their prey, is to force it here, go from a backhand into a forehand, inside out, fair hand into the backhand cage, or right down the line. You'll see this cross court to cross court all the time, and it's called setting up the cross court, hurting down the line technique. Watch it, it will happen loads.
Love 15.
Oh, once again, a terrific backhand rifled down the line.
Right, here's the second in the pattern of play, 5 to 8 shots to look out for. And the first thing that we've said is to force a short ball, and now we can attack it and approach the net. So the first thing to say really is, rarely will people attack the forehand side and come to the net, because the forehand can do so much more damage than the backhand. So I would say 4 times out of 5 they'll be attacking the backhand. Short ball, come and attack the backhand. To do what's called an easy put away volley or an easy put away smash. And the thing to know in tennis is there's no such thing as easy, particularly if it hasn't been practiced and particularly if it's under pressure. So you need to set it up well. Now if we look from the person at the receiving end, again look at the maths of this and do your shots accordingly. A passing shot down the line. First of all, every passing shot needs to go below the height of the net, which means that your opponent has to hit up. As soon as they volley above the height of the net, it's not looking good for you. If you do a passing shot down the line, this man now has an angle. You've got to get on your bike, lots to go for. If you get it, it's on your forehand, a big gap down the line. But if they volley short and wide, no chance of you getting it. So the go-to shot is the cross-court backhand going below the height of the net. That actually turns the tables a bit. Are they going to volley down the line for you to come and do a forehand? Forehand down the line, forehand lob, forehand cross court, not quite sure what they're going to do. So the rule of thumb, just like with a striker against a goalkeeper, you always go across the goalkeeper, not to the near post. So that's what we're going to do and then practice that. Rarely in the elite do you see them throwing up the lob, because these guys are pretty athletic, can get to most lobs and put the smash away. So that's the fourth tactic in the pattern of play, 5 to 8 shots, the approach shot, put away volley or smash versus the passing shot or lob. And understand that whilst this is an emotional play, and that's why people don't do it as much as they should, if they lose the point at the net, emotionally it counts for a lot more than if they lost the point at the baseline. They get a high and we get a low. Nevertheless, percentages of volleys at the net winning the points is far higher than at the baseline. Expect to see on the Grand Slams more people, particularly the beasts, coming to the net much more often.
That looked like a double bounce from on Kutenseva's side.
So that's that tactic. Hope you got a lot out of it. What I'd also like you to do now is just listen to the TV analysts and the commentators and all the media, because come the semi-finals and finals of Grand Slams and obviously Davis Cup, this mythical Greek godlike creature called the big point player appears from nowhere, lasts for the semis and the finals. So listen to all these people talking about pressure and meltdown, and pressure and freedom and relaxed and playing the best tennis of the match. He or she is a big point player, and not one person anywhere says, and here is how you too can be a big point player. Until now. So big point player training is the world's first and only modular, proven, replicable method or system that anyone, any age, can practice and become a big point player. This is not high performance training, this is under pressure training, and affects everybody in exactly the same way. So if this resonates, click here, because we put together, I think, a really helpful guide, 5-step guide, how you can become a big point player. And subscribe to the channel, because we get 2 videos each week, which might be your own personal get out of jail card from that pressure prison. And give me your comments. We respond to every comment. And lastly, please share to your tennis network. We have a mission to get rid of this under pressure mystique and train people on it worldwide, but obviously don't send it to the people that you're wanting to beat.